So today, Ducati announced the first of 6 new bikes ahead of the 2022 model year, and this one's the Multistrada V2. Now yes, you might have noticed that this is essentially a rebrand or renaming of the previous Multistrada 950, but there are plenty of tweaks to keep it fresh, and so in this video, we'll go over all of the details with everything you need to know about this beautiful looking middleweight adventure tourer. But before we get started, a quick shout out to my channel sponsors Speedo Angels. They make a dash protector for these Multistradas, as well as many other bikes. They only cost a few quid, but they could save you hundreds if you scratch or damage your Speedo. There's a link in the description plus a 20% discount code. So first up, a quick refresher on the parts that have remained the same. It's got the 937cc Testastretta 11-degree V-twin, which makes 113 horsepower up at 9,000 RPM and 94 Newton meters of peak torque at 6,750. It's the same engine as the Supersport, Hypermotard, and the new Monster, and I'd say those figures are pretty decent when you look at the competition. Now it still uses the same steel trellis frame, suspended on a fully adjustable fork and shock on the standard version, with semi-active electronic suspension on the more premium S model. Both versions get top-spec Brembo M4.32 brakes with a radial master cylinder, as well as a 6-axis IMU for lean-sensitive rider aids, with plenty of riding modes managed through the TFT dash. And all of this in a rather nice-looking package, which again has pretty much remained the same. But as you can see, the spec is good, as is the styling, and so I guess it didn't really need a massive overhaul. But all the same, here are all of those tweaks. Now Ducati say that they sought to improve shifting with a new 8-disc hydraulic clutch and an updated gearbox. They say it guarantees greater fluidity and precision in shifting, and also facilitating the engagement of neutral. On top of that, they say it works nicely with the quick shifter, which has also been given an optimized operating strategy, which I think is a fancy way of saying it's more better. Another big area of focus is the ergonomics, firstly with a 10mm reduction in the seat height down to 830mm. Not only that, but they've narrowed the shape of the seat in order to help with getting both feet down at a standstill. Ducati state that it's now able to put any rider at ease in any situation. These changes provide safety when the bike is stationary and improve confidence when maneuvering at low speed, even with a passenger and full cases. If you're still struggling, there's a low seat option and a low suspension linkage, and combined they can take 40mm off the seat height, bringing it right down to 790mm. That's lower than most naked bikes, it's almost a cruiser, so it should make it pretty easy to get on with for almost anyone. Now, being a bike that ought to be capable of some long distance touring, there are also a couple of tweaks to help improve comfort. So as well as the seat being narrowed, they've also added a flatter surface that guarantees the rider freedom of movement in the longitudinal direction, improving the level of comfort and allowing anyone to find the optimal position. The foot pegs have also been relocated, moved 10mm further away from the seat in order to open up the rider's leg angle, which can help to reduce discomfort when you're doing long stints in the saddle. It's a change that's inherited from the V2's bigger sibling, the Multistrada V4, and should also help to accommodate taller riders who found the last generation a little cramped. Now, it wasn't a particularly heavy bike at a touch over 200 kilograms, but Ducati have done a neat job of shedding some weight for this updated version, with 5 kilograms of savings found across the bike. They say the engine update has produced a saving of about 2 kilograms, including the clutch and its cover, gearbox drum, and the new conrods. Various parts of the vehicle have been lightened, including the mirrors, which are derived from the Multistrada V4, the front brake disc flanges, and the rims. The new V2 gets rims derived from the Multistrada V4, which are about 1.7 kilograms lighter, thus generating an important improvement in the dynamic behavior of the vehicle. Rotating weight really does count for a lot in terms of both acceleration, it can spin the wheel up quicker, but also changes of direction, which will affect the handling. Now they go on to say that more off-road focused spoke wheels are also available in the Ducati Performance catalogue, and again they've been significantly lightened. So now we've got a total dry weight of 199 kilograms for the standard bike and 202 kilograms for the S, as is expected with the extra tech like the semi-active suspension. As I've said, they were already pretty stacked with tech, having all the latest rider aids and modes, but one update I noticed in the press release was the addition addition of their Ducati brake light system, which in the event of sudden braking automatically activates the flashing of the rear light in order to signal the condition of sudden slowing down appropriately. BMW have a similar system and the Multistrada V4 has had it, so it's great to see it being put to use here as standard as well, because clearly that could help you avoid a collision. Now for this new model, they've given it a fresh graphic scheme with the updated Multistrada V2 name, as well as a couple of new paint options. There's the classic Ducati red with black rims available for both the standard V2 and the V2S, and then there's the street grey livery with black frame and GP red rims, and this one is exclusive to the S version. Either looks pretty tasty in my opinion. And so on to the price, £12,495 for the Multistrada V2 or £14,495 for the V2S, which gets you the active suspension, the full colour TFT dash, and the full LED headlight with cornering function. Now that's not bad for a couple of grand, but it does make it a little more than the top spec Triumph Tiger 900 GT Pro and a couple of grand more than the top spec Yamaha Tracer 9 GT. But neither of those bikes have quite the same finesse as the Ducati. So as always, let me know what you think of it down below, and which would your pick of the middleweight adventure tourers be?